Hi, I'm going to make a tutorial to show you how to make these little glittery houses because people keep asking me. And I aim to please. I've never made a tutorial before and my phone is literally hanging from a chandelier, so this may or may not work. Bear with me. Let's go over our items that are required and also optional, some that are optional. If you hear a dog whining, it is mine because she wants to go outside because the kids are putting lights up in the front yard. She can't go out there because she'll run away, and it's pretty much the worst thing that's ever happened to her in her whole life. Here's what you need for this project. You need, some of this stuff is not necessary, but buffalo snowflakes. You can get these at Michael's. They're just like big hunks of glitter, basically. This snow type stuff, which is probably asbestos. I don't know. It says warning. Just don't eat it. It looks like powdered sugar, but it's not. Don't substitute powdered sugar. That won't work. Some glitter. This is also from Michael's. You can get it in the department where the homemade Christmas ornament type things are. It's a mix of silver and white, and I mix these together at a ratio of about 4:1. It's kind of complicated because you got to like cover one side or it doesn't work. It has the sprinkle thing on top, but that takes forever. So I just went like this. Anyway, 4:1 ratio on that. I mix that with some of the snow. That's what this is right here. This is the ground snow stuff. I would highly recommend that you do the snow application outside because it is a big mess and you will have glitter on your face for the rest of your life. Also, helpful but not necessary is Craft Bond. This is spray adhesive that is permanent or temporary depending on how fast you connect the things you're spraying. Mod Podge, it would be helpful to have this, but you can use Elmer's glue. A rotary cutter or scissors work fine. I have this fancy little zigzaggy rotary cutter that I used, but obviously that's not necessary. Paintbrush, an X-Acto knife. I'm using a very small one, but a big one works fine. A glue gun. I don't know if you can see that. It's plugged in. Glue sticks, obviously. What did I miss? Oh, this is literally a corrugated gift tag. I got it also at Michael's in the scrapbook department. It's corrugated on top. It's flat on the back. You could use cardstock. And of course you need cardstock. I got this also in the scrapbook department. It's actually a sticker, but you don't need its sticker. So I didn't know that. You could use it as a sticker, but I don't. So anyway, they have a pack that's got a bunch of colors in it. I got this bright one. For the base of the house, I actually just took 2 of these and stuck them together by peeling the backing off of one and then used the zigzag cutter to make it zigzaggy, which is obviously not necessary, but that's my flair. Oh, also a giant bowl of weed. No, I'm just kidding. It's moss. That totally looks like weed. You don't need moss, but I was practicing sort of making a house out of it, and also you could make little bushes by tearing it apart, and a tiny tree. We have a train set that is an N gauge, which means it's like 1/149th scale. So it's like 1.5 inches tall. I was trying to make houses for it, but they would have to be almost invisible. So these are really small, and we're going to make a really small one, but you can increase these numbers to make them bigger, and that would actually probably be easier. You just need bigger cardstock. For the purposes of this, we're going to just make a ruler. You need a ruler of some kind and a pencil, unless you just want to eyeball it, which is fine. For the purposes of this tutorial, I'm going to make the house completely square because it's the simplest thing for mathematical dimensions. If you want to make a bigger one or a different shaped one, just play around with it because I have several that are all different shapes. Like this particular one is very tall. The sides are the same size. I made a dormer for it, which was not easy, and it actually looks pretty janky if you're up close. So for the purposes of this, I'm going to make yellow because I have a bunch of pink and blue. This piece of paper is 6.5 inches. So I'm going to just make a house that's this length. Now, you need an extra 1/2 inch on the end. So once you subtract that out, I've got 6 inches to work with. So I'm going to make each side 1.5 inches. Okay, so here's my little 1/2 inch mark. For the height of the house, you're going to just double the size of the side. So that would be 3 inches. And then also, again, adding a 1/2 inch lip. Those lips are going to create a space for you to overlap and glue. If you don't do that, you're probably not going to be able to glue them to themselves. Or if you do, it's going to take forever for it to dry. So this is a nice way to do it. I use the glue gun to do it faster. I don't know if people would consider that cheating or whatever, but like regular craft glue takes forever to dry, and I'm not patient. So this house is going to be 6.5 inches long because 4 1.5 inch sides and a 1/2 inch end, and then it's going to be 3 inches tall with also a 1/2 inch thing. So we're going to do a 3.5 inch, which coincidentally is the size of this ruler. 3.5 inch height. Okay, we don't have to do any sideways cutting. Now, okay, you're going to want to score it for the purposes of making a little fold so that you can bend the house up. So I'm going to score this on the 1/2 inch mark. And the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to use my X-Acto knife, but I'm just going to barely use it. And I scored on the back side because when you score it on the front and then fold it, you can see like the gap in the paper. I don't know how to explain it, but you can see the white. Okay, so here's my score for the bottom. See how that works? And then I'm going to score the 1/2 inch on the side. This is for the side of the house. This is the house will make a square and this will overlap. Oops. It doesn't really matter which way you do this one because it's not going to show, but I'm going to do it on the back for the sake of consistency. So, scoring the side. Okay, now you've got your attaching lips are scored. You'll have to cut this out, otherwise they'll overlap, which does not work. Obviously you don't need, why are my hands shaking? I don't know. Okay, so now let's do the 1.5 inch scores for the actual side, the house sides. So the first one's gonna go here. I sort of use my ruler and my rotary cutter board thinger because it's just easier to have 2 measurements, and that way I can really make sure that everything's lined up. So 1.5 inches. Oops. 1.5 inches. 1.5 inches. Now, if you cut the scored down here on the fold, if you cut these through all the way, it'll make it so that they fold over each other and you don't have to cut the things out. Okay, so now, look what we have. So let's fold along our scored. There's the dog. She wants to go outside real bad. It's basically the worst day of her life to be stuck in here. Okay, so now here you go. You've got your 4 sides. You have your little lip, which is going to go inside. You have your little flaps, which are creating the bottom so that you can glue this to a thing. We leave a little hole. I'll punch a hole when I'm all done because we stuck these little tiny lights up in here. They're LED lights on a string. They're also from Michael's. It's like super, super cute. Okay, so we have our 4 sides. Now, for the roof, you need to do 2 sides of the house for the roof, and they need to be opposing, obviously. If you put them right next to each other, I don't even know what's going to happen. It's not going to be a roof. So measure from the top down. I hope you guys are following me. I'm going to try to do this as a time lapse so that you can see it quickly. And then also, oh, let's measure it on the back side so we don't make a mark on the front. Sorry, see, told you never tutorial before. So here's your 1.5 inch mark. So you're gonna wanna cut 2 opposing sides out. So I'm just gonna pick 2. It doesn't matter which 2, they just need to be opposing. And then this one. The thing about this is it's totally fine to be imperfect, because once you put glue and sprinkles all over it, no one's even going to notice. You do have to cut the extra part of the flap off, otherwise that will show. So you just want the glue flap attached to the bottom part of the house. Okay, so now look what we got. Boom. Boom. So to make the peak of the roof, take your top of the house and measure 3/4 inch in this way and 3/4 inch in this way. Oh my gosh, my dog is dying right now. So that's here, 3/4 inch. Oops. Here. Hi, Ella. You can make the roof taller if you do. You just totally fine. Wait, hold on.
What are you doing?
Yeah, so this would make it square, but or sort of, yeah, square. The height of the roof would be the height of the house. So
what are you doing, Mommy?
you can just connect the corner.
Ella, what are you doing?
I'm recording a video right now. I'm sorry that I didn't answer you because I'm recording a video.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me.
I wasn't. Do you want to say hi to the video? My phone's up there.
No.
No, you don't want to? Okay. So you're going to connect a line from the corner here to the little peak that you've created. Did you need something, babe? Same over here. Oops. Oops. Hey, everybody makes mistakes, you know what I'm saying? The corner here, and then, I hope you can see this, crud. I might not even be in the video. And then to the corner here. Now you're going to need, my ruler won't go. You're going to need to give yourself a little bit of space on each side of the roof peak for the same reason that you did here and here, and so that it can glue onto the roof. If you don't, then you're going to have a whole thing going on. For this, I'm going to cut on the front just because it's easier, but you can flip it over if you want. So I'm going to cut first, just lightly score along the roof line, very lightly, because you don't want to rip your roof. Very lightly. I'm going to do both sides. So very lightly score, and very lightly score this way. And then I'm going to give it a 1/4 inch lip. So from that mark, I'm going to come out a 1/4 inch, and I'm going to score. Doesn't matter how far, you can do it all the way up because you're going to cut it off anyway. And then I'm going to do the other side. So these two things are going to meet, oops, in the middle somewhere. Probably need a new blade. You can, where those two things meet, you need to cut anyway. So then just cut right along the roof edge. Okay? And then where your score is this way, where your score is this way, and then fold and fold. Okay? I'm going to do the same thing over here. Scoring 1/4 inch away from the roof line. One side, scoring a 1/4 inch away from the roof line. The other side, cutting straight across at the roof line so that those two scores don't overlap. Cutting here, which isn't necessary. I mean, I guess you could just leave that connected, but that's the part of me that just can't deal. Okay, so now let's look. So you have your house, you have your bottom part. It's going to connect to your base. Hello? Get it straight, Joni. Like boom, you have your flap. It's going to connect here. And you have these that are going to connect to the roof. Okay, let's cut a door. Why not? I'm gonna put my door on the front of the house right here where the roof is. It doesn't really matter. To be quick, well, I'm gonna make the door a little bit of a, make it a little bit of a curve, just because I'm feeling fancy. You can just start out with a straight square or rectangle. So I cut the curve. Now I'm gonna cut across the bottom. Gotta poke that out. It's not straight, which is fine. Someone's playing a game over there. Careful with the X-Acto knife, like you do not want to cut yourself with these things, I tell you. Okay, the door. Now, windows. I'm gonna do one on the side. I got real fancy yesterday and I started making the windows paned by cutting out 4 tiny squares next to each other, which was cute, but oh my gosh, it took me forever. So I'm not doing that. I'm just gonna cut straight windows. Maybe I'll do a paned one next to the front door. Really, it doesn't matter. Like I said, once you cover all this up, it's just gonna look cute. And I don't get hung up on perfection with lines because I think that's sort of the thing with homemade things, right? Like, it looks like someone made it. So, little window on the other side of the house. I could cut this part out of the video, but man, I'm not good at editing, so let's just proceed. Okay, so I'll do a paned window here and show you the nightmare that is the paned window. Make 2 tiny rectangular slits next to each other and repeat underneath like so. Cut on the top. Okay, this looks a lot easier than I did last night, I'm just saying. The initial attempt at this was very traumatic for me. Okay, paned window. All right, let's glue the house itself together. Just grabbing my glue gun, I'm gonna run a little bead along the side. Oh my gosh, do not burn yourself with hot glue. It's the worst thing ever. Okay, not ever, but it is very painful. Let it cool down a little bit and then I smush it together. Okay, let's make sure everything's folding up here like it's supposed to be. For the roof, I'm just gonna cut the edges off. I hope this is the right size. This is really just an act of guessing with the roof. I don't really measure it. It is 3 inches-ish wide, so I'm going to do 1.5 inches scoring so that I can fold it in half on the roof. Again, on the not visible side. Okay, see that? House, roof, boom. Okay, taking your glue gun. Sorry if you can't see this because it may be out of frame, but a little bit of glue on the 4 peaks. Woo, steamy. And then attach the roof like so. One side of the roof is longer than the other. Oh well, imperfection says something. Okay, let's get to the glittering of the house. Oh, I really wish this was sticking out further. Well, anyway, I would have made the lip a little longer on this side, but okay. Oh, Ella's yelling at the dog now. Okay, so now for the Mod Podging of the house itself. You're going to, you can put this on however far you want. I like to do it all the way down the sides just because I think it looks cute and like the house is sort of like frozen. But don't do too thick of a layer. If you do, it will buckle and then the house will look like, you know, like a bad contractor built it. Get under the lip. The back. I like to make sure I get this part because it just looks really cute if you can make the glue stick all the way around. Or the sparkles, I mean. The dog is not listening, but it's okay because I know that Daddy daddies out there. Okay. Now, glitter. Just sprinkle, willy-nilly. There's like no way to do this wrong. You can pinch it and do it with your fingers if you want, but hey, why not just sprinkle? I might have to get up and go get the dog because this is not working out. Ella, it's okay, honey. You don't have to yell at the dogs, babe. Okay, there you go. There you go. Sprinkled. Look at that. Okay, now to stick the house onto the. Oh wait, let's do this first. Now you're going to use your spray glue. Now, if you don't have the spray glue, that's fine. Just use the Mod Podge again. I just use the spray because it's like super easy. Do not get this on anything except the thing you want to spray it on because it is so sticky. Oh my gosh. It is like incredibly sticky. And you do want to put your snow on like right away because if you wait, it becomes like impermanently sticky. It becomes like tacky instead of sticky. Okay, glue on the edges of the house. Oh my gosh, be so careful. This is so hot. Okay, glue on the edges. Sticking it down, sticking it. See it sticking? And then a little glop of glue over here for the tree. And you're done. Boom. Sparkly house. Look at that. You did it. You made your own Christmas ornament. It's done. I made the house. I did it on the video.
Good fucking job.
Don't say fuck. People aren't going to watch it if you say fucking. They're going to be all like,
That's
use
a
bad
nice
language.
Fucking house.
I know, right? Should I put some weed on it?
I'd fuck it. I don't know how Christmas works.
Hey, if you're going to get fancy, look at that. Make a little bush. And by bush, I mean little thing in front of the house. A little bit of glue, a little bit of weed moss. Oh, see, got a bush. It's so cute, right? And it's not even hard. Okay, there you go. Bam.